Hey, Anil Gupta here. Welcome. I believe that the driving force behind the success in any part of your life comes down to your BS. Yes, your belief systems. Everyone has certain beliefs, and beliefs are just feelings of absolute certainty you have for anything, everything, and anyone. There are three types of beliefs: limiting, stagnant, and empowering. You could possibly guess what each one does and how it affects your life, as well as the lives of your friends and family. But what you may not know or consciously be aware of is how many you have and how often you experience each belief. They are everywhere. We have beliefs about the economy. We have beliefs about health and wealth. We have beliefs about politics, people, family, religion, occupations, the color of our skin, the cars we drive, what we eat, what sports team we support. We have beliefs about everything. And as human beings, we will make up stories in our heads to justify those beliefs. A really interesting story about belief systems comes from our friend the humble flea. Ooh, I felt that. And that was a belief system coming into play. Fleas, yes, fleas. They are one of the smallest insects in the world, but they have one of the highest vertical jumps on the planet, comparative to their size. The average flea can jump up to 12 inches in height, which is almost equivalent to us as human beings jumping over the Empire State Building. How cool would that be? Think about that for a second. Imagine having the ability to climb or jump over the Empire State Building. Quite fascinating, really. Now, if you capture some fleas and put them in a jar with the lid on, their natural instinct is to jump out, but they will bang their heads up against the ceiling. And after a number of attempts to do that, they will realize that it's not going to get them anywhere, so they stop doing it. And they adjust to their environment. And that's what we do as human beings. We adjust to our environment. They will begin jumping and jumping and jumping high enough not to hit the ceiling. That's what we do as human beings. They'll keep on jumping enough to avoid the pain. Now, what happens when you put in more fleas in the jar? Interesting. Those new fleas will start copying the existing fleas. They'll copy their behavior, so they'll just jump high enough not to hit the ceiling. And isn't that what we do as human beings? What happens when they have babies? Yes, the babies start doing that too. They learn these things very quickly. And that's what we do as human beings. They'll just jump as high as their parents. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, these parents are showing their babies how to act, how to show up in the world. Think about that for a minute. That's what we do as human beings. We set our thermostat or bar at a certain level. Maybe there's no bar, maybe there's no thermostat. Maybe we can be in charge of our lives. Maybe we can choose how we run our lives. Imagine what could be achieved if you had no bar, if you had no limits. Don't let your circle of influence determine the level of your bar or the lid, because there is not one. There is no lid. What happens if you remove this imaginary lid? Imagine the difference it would make to your life. Imagine how you'd show up. Imagine how high you could jump. So today's the day. Seize the day. Don't adjust to your environment. Create a new environment. You can do this. You have to do this. It's your life. You get to run it how you want it, when you want it, whenever you want it, whichever way you want it. So what's the lesson we learned from fleas? Yeah. Don't let them in your house. We as human beings have the capacity to achieve amazing things. We have the ability to accomplish great things. But we have an apparent ceiling that we put on ourselves. Don't do that. You're too big for that. You can play a bigger game. You have a bigger system that you could use. And the system is this. Just show up at a much greater level, at a greater vibration. Just show up with no lid. Show up with no ceiling. You know, maybe you had the wrong parents. Maybe you thought you did not deserve to be successful. Maybe you had the wrong neighborhood. Whatever it is for you, just know that you set your own ceiling. You set the bar yourself. It's up to you. It really is. Raise your bar today. There is no bar. There is no lid. Live your life the way you want it. It's your choice. What are you going to choose today? I choose freedom. I choose peace. I choose love. I choose tranquility. I choose to be unstoppable. How about you?